Well, good afternoon, and what can I say? I'm very glad to be the next speaker. And I guess at this point, everybody is convinced that we can make it happen with renewable energy, and it is possible. And I will tell you a little more about Enel and Enel Green Power, which is one of the companies which is trying to make it happen by building real projects and power plants. I just want to start off with a few words about Enel, this company which is sometimes very little known, but it ends up being one of the largest companies in the world. It is Italy's largest power company, but it's also Europe's second largest utility by installed capacity. We have business mostly in Europe, but we also have a very large business in North and Latin America. We have about 90,000 employees and about 95,000 megawatts installed worldwide and about 61 million customers. So this is, of course, takes into account our traditional business and renewable business in power generation, but also power distribution, sales, natural gas. In natural gas, we have final customers, we have pipelines, we have also equity gas. Oh, I guess we went to... Sorry. So as you can see, our geographical presence goes from Russia to the United States. The largest business Enel has is in Italy and Iberia, with a large presence also in the former Eastern Europe, like Slovakia, Romania, and Bulgaria, and Russia. Apart from so what we decided to do back in December, Enel has been doing renewable energy for a very long time, but we finally decided that it was about the time to create a unique company that would manage the business as a standalone. We called it Enel Green Power. It's a company that today already meets the needs of about 6.5 million households, and it's present in 16 countries. You can see the renewable energy business, so Enel Green Power business, presence worldwide. Of course, we have the largest installed bases in Italy with about 2,500 megawatts, but we also have a quite substantial presence in North America and Latin America, as well as other countries in Europe. The way we think about the business is that we really don't have a technology that we invest on, but we try to diversify over several technologies. As you can see, we have a large installed base of hydro. We generate already today 9.6 terawatt hours from hydro. We have a large presence in geothermal, which I will tell you more further on in the presentation. But we also have a very large business in wind, which is the fastest growing at this point, together with solar and also in biomass. So we are of the belief that there is no silver bullet in terms of technology. There's a number of technology which have reached technological maturity and industrial maturity, and there's a number of other technology which will probably get to the same point, and we'll continue to monitor them. So while hydro, geo, onshore wind, and biomass, it's basically, and solar PV is something that we feel comfortable and confident in investing in many countries. We're monitoring also the other technologies and see if they become competitive with traditional sources. The way we approach the business is very, let me say that our goal is to make renewable energy become standard. It has to be cost competitive. It has to be something that it's easy to deploy. We are just using the approach that we have used in the 60 years of our history at our company with traditional sources, also with renewable energy. So it has to be a reliable source. It has to be something which is competitive, and also that our customers in most of the countries, the off-taker, feel comfortable in buying. The business is fairly simple at the end of the day. It really consists of a business development phase, or a phase where we develop the new projects, a phase where we build the new projects, and a phase where we manage the projects for a very long period of time. Differently from other companies, what we do is we own the assets. We don't sell them, so we don't develop and flip projects to others. So we think that this gives us the best approach to renewable energy, because we not only think about how to develop efficiently and build efficiently, but we took at the entire life cycle cost of renewable energy as long-term owners. We believe we have some key competencies in some technologies, namely geothermal energy, because we've been doing it for a very long time, but also hydro. We have a large installed base. Wind, we were forerunners in the wind industry in Italy. We're just now gearing up scale and expanding our business throughout the world. And solar PV, we think that we are developing a very unique business model that we will see afterwards. So Enel Green Powers really builds its strategy upon 4 pillars, which, as I was illustrating before, is the balanced technology mix, so a diversified technology mix, a diversified geographical presence. As you know, renewable energy is not distributed evenly across countries, so we need the geographical diversification for us is important, because it will allow us to use the best renewable energy source in every country. Or in every area. We also want to build our business, as I was saying before, in a way that renewable energy is competitive, is probably not relying very much or very little relying on incentive schemes, because again, to be a reliable source of energy for everybody, at a certain point it needs to come off incentives. Of course, every technology will have a different timing, but and so we want to retain growth flexibility and invest where it makes more sense as any other standard business. Just a flash on what we do in North America. We are present in 22 US states and 3 Canadian provinces. We have about 70 plants. Most of them are run-of-river hydroelectric power stations, but the newest one are wind farms and geothermal power plants. We have about 800 megawatt in this country and employ about 300 people. The potential of the United States for renewable energy is enormous, so United States is going to be one of the countries where we will invest more in the future. Just to give you some, sort of technological specific information and some ideas of how we approach each technology. Geothermal is very important for us because, like I said, we've been doing it since 1904. We are investing. We've been investing for many years in developing the Larderello fields, which are in Tuscany, which now provide a large percentage of the Tuscany needs. I think it's about 25%. Not only we sort of invest in the traditional steam technology for geothermal, but we're also investing in binary cycle technology, which is kind of a way to use lower grade geothermal resources. And we also try to be on the forefront of research by working with a number of institutions like MIT. We think geothermal energy can give an answer to the energy needs of the world. We project, for example, by 2020, based on a number of sources, a 19 gigawatt of installed capacity. As you can see, the growth of geothermal energy is about 4% on average annually, which is significant, but clearly is one of the choices, is not the only, is not the silver bullet which is going to solve every energy need. This country has a good potential for geothermal energy. The risk of geothermal energy and the profile of geothermal energy is very unique. You need to face the issue of drilling, and so geothermal exploration risk, if you want, the technological side of things, which is still in evolution, and the fact that geothermal power plants are not, each one of them is kind of small compared to other resources. But again, it requires a very unique competence, which we think there aren't many companies to have, and so we feel that we're going to continue to invest in this area. The availability is not everywhere. Of course, there is some areas, which is the Ring of Fire across the Pacific, and some areas in Europe where geothermal energy is present. The United States is blessed because there is substantial potential in California, Nevada, Utah, and other states. But there is some areas where there is no potential. So again, it goes to the point that you need to have a diversified and balanced renewable energy mix if you want to provide renewable energy in every country, in every situation.